It was a scary time, and I don't think we've lost that period. I think it's coming around again. Uh, there, to the best of my memory, it started with a guy who ran a supermarket in some either upstate New York, I don't remember where. This guy who had a supermarket started to complain about certain people, and complained apparently to the products he was selling in the supermarket, like the P&G products or the General Foods project, and got to the companies. And that started the whole process. This one man who nobody ever heard of before or after. And it grew and it mushroomed. It mushroomed so that there were lists. And ad agencies, advertising agencies, on behalf of their clients, were very careful who was going to appear on a show. And I had, on many occasions, was told by whoever I was trying to sell to, no, we can't use them. And when I say why, well, whatever. They'd never say because they're on the list. But we knew there was a list. Now, it was a list that affected most people who might be progressive, might be liberal, might be outspoken, might be, active, might have cared. Maybe some of them were associated with the Communist Party, which was prevalent at that point, I don't know, or accused of it. Or maybe there was no reason, but they got on the list and you couldn't get them off. And it destroyed a lot of people's life and career. Well, Larry Adler is a perfect case. Who's a world virtuoso in the harmonica. I mean, he was working here and all over, and it stopped. You tried to fight it. I don't know if we had a policy, but we would actively get behind a client to try to prove to the people who were saying no that they were wrong for the following reasons. In some cases, we may have turned the head slightly, but the fear in the climate, the fear in the country at that point, was nobody wanted to touch it. I mean, that's pre-McCarthy, but that was the beginning of McCarthy coming along and doing what he was doing. So, and as I recall, and maybe research will tell us all differently, but I recall it started with a guy who ran a supermarket upstate New York or someplace, not a big market, who took it upon his own to complain.
Now,
and advertisers were so frightened that we won't do it. So they told their agency, don't use them. And it just mushroomed. It's a little frightening. Some of our leaders today are doing things like that. It's a little frightening.